Hey, what's up, PokeMoshPit? My name is Casadorperfect, and for today's upload, I'm gonna be your host, bringing you a RU Wi-Fi battle match here against Winkey, a guy that I have on my Skype account. I was looking for some matches to do, and this was one of those. And basically, taking a look at his team, we got a Chinchino, which is the obviously skill link user, Poliwrath, a very powerful one, Entei, and the rest, which really do not matter at all in the end because they're just not that threatening. Well, actually there is one who's pretty threatening in the end, but you'll see just as the video proceeds. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. My opponent is going to lead off with the Chinchino, which by the way I did not anticipate. I was hoping for to start off with something else like Sand Slash to set up the rocks, but that's why I actually decided to lead off with my Aerodactyl. That does not work out, so I'm actually going to switch out into Violation to basically take the hit. He misses his Rock Blast, which is unfortunate. We basically double switch here. I anticipated his switch into his Sigilyph, and that is completely awesome on my part because right now I just went for the taunt, just to taunt that little thing, because I know it usually goes for Reflect Light Screen or Psycho Shift to get me a burn or something like that. It is pretty annoying, and I don't want that to happen just yet. So Poliwrath has the depth advantage right now, so I'm actually going to switch out and into my underdog, aka my Uxie, which can basically take whatever from this Poliwrath, which is awesome. He goes for the Focus Punch, which is, you know, it's kind of a nifty move on his part. That was pretty impressive that he actually knew that I was about to switch, but it also makes sense. But anyways, I'm going to go for a knockoff here, and I'm going to knock off the Choice Specs from his Tangrowth, which is something I did not anticipate at the very beginning of the match. I did not anticipate this thing to be a special attacker. I actually anticipated it to be rather a you know, lead seeder and protect toxic stalling little bitch, which they usually are. So we actually ended up double switching here, and I do have a speedier Pokemon. It's a little bit faster than his Chinchino, and that is actually what I managed to let him believe, because my Sceptile is actually Adamant Nature, and without me using Acrobatics first, I cannot outspeed a Chinchino. And it makes sense because I have the Unburden ability, and that is the only possible way to become faster than his Chinchino, because with Adamant Nature Sceptile you achieve a 339 max speed, and with a Jolly Nature Chinchino, which his Chinchino is, you can actually achieve a 361 max speed, so therefore he becomes faster, but he didn't knew that, so that is great. I am able to take down his Sigilyph with a Night Slash, which they usually do not expect because of the fact that Sceptile usually likes to run Drain Punch or Earthquake. And I especially have that move for Sigilyph and Dusknoirs. They are kind of a hassle to actually deal with. So the switch here that I made into my Violation against his Entei was because I was anticipating him to go for the Stone Edge rather than the Flare Blitz, because it makes more sense. Because if I was him, I would have gone for the Stone Edge, knowing that my opponent has some Entei on his own, so I actually have something to resist that with. And I also have my Aerodactyl, which is also resistant to the Flare Blitz, so him going for the Flare Blitz straight away was kind of risky. But then again, it actually ended up working out in his favor, so I actually went for the Shadow Sneak with my Dusknoir to deal a little bit of damage before I went down. Now I have my Aerodactyl out on the field. I went for the Stealth Rocks, then decided to switch out once again into my underdog, because I know that I cannot sponge Waterfall coming from that thing with my Aerodactyl. He will definitely just annihilate me immediately, give me one hit KO. I don't want that to happen just yet. So I'm actually going to switch out into my underdog, take the Waterfall, go for the rest, recover my full HP, and I am ready to rumble again. And he's going to go for a Waterfall, and then he's actually going to switch out. Well, it's actually okay, because at this point I'm going to go for a Psychic to deal as much damage as I possibly can. I was actually hoping to hit his Poliwrath, which is super effective, but you know, trying to take down his Tangrowth is also very good in my opinion, because it can be pretty lethal against my Aggron, and it is pretty defensive, so I don't think that my Aggron will be able to take this thing down. And yeah, it's just a good thing to have out of sight, because they usually tend to do something unexpected, and I don't want Tangrowth to be messing around with my team. So I actually managed to take him down after he went for a simple Giga Drain, which did not do that much damage. Right now he's gonna bring out his Minccino, which of course gets walled by my Aggron, so therefore I switch into Aggron. He goes for the Tail Slap, and the damage is just so pitiful that I just don't have words for that. It's just way too pitiful. That's like nothing basically. But well, anyways, he's going to switch out into Sandslash, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is what I'd like to call one of the most powerful moves that I've ever used in a Wi-Fi battle match. I'll just put everything on the screen. You guys can pretty much read that text, and it basically explains how powerful Heavy Slam actually is against quite a lot of different foes. It is really an useful attack to use with Aggron, and it's definitely just a raper. Like, that move is just so powerful, it's unbelievable. But now you gotta keep in consideration that his Sandslash is max defense, max HP. I asked this guy at the end of the battle what are the EV spread on his Sandslash, and he told me that, so I was quite surprised by the amount of the results that I got from that Heavy Slam. Like, that's so much damage. And it's unbelievable, but it seems like it's going to switch out into his Ante, which is also totally fine by me, because the Stealth Rocks that I set up on his field is definitely going to take a lot of HP from that Ante, and having my Skeptile at +2 attack and a Leaf Blade which is stabbed with Adamant max attack, like, that is going to completely annihilate that Ante from that range of HP. So his Ante is going to go down. He's gonna bring out his Chinchino, which, you know, it's fine with me. I'm actually going to stay in, you know, bluffing me being faster, but I'm not. He goes for the U-turn. Actually, it's fine. It actually makes sense that he goes for the U-turn. Now he's gonna bring out his Poliwrath, and this is totally awesome by me, because right now I can bring out my underdog, have the type advantage, and basically spam Psychics all over the place. I know I basically do not have that much HP to stay in here and just do whatever I want, but I know that at some point I will have to go for the rest once again. And since I do have my Aggron, which is, by the way, faster than the rest of his entire team, except for Chinchino, of course, I will, you know, it will be ready for a big surprise. It will be funny at some point. It will be funny. So I go for the Psychic once again, and I know that from this range of HP that I have left, I can at least take one last one. I'm capable of doing that, and Underdog just pulls through like a boss. He goes for the recover, or she, or whatever it is. Actually, it actually goes for the recover, and there goes my full HP again. It's actually back to full health, and things are looking pretty good. He's going to stay in somehow, you know, thinking that his Waterfall is actually going to get a critical hit or something like that. I don't know. By the way, I'm faster, so the flinch is not possible. So if I were him, I would have switched out into Chinchino, go for the Tail Slap all over the place, and whenever the Aggron comes in, I would just go for the U-turn. Really, that's what I actually would have done if I was in his position. But he doesn't do that, so somehow he waits until the last turn before I wake up to switch out into his Chinchino after going for 2 Waterfalls, which is fine by me, by the way. I still have the check with Aggron on his Chinchino, but he's going to go for a U-turn, and here is where that surprise comes into play that I was talking about. I am faster than his Poliwrath, but he did not anticipate that. Now, believe it or not, I have no idea which one of these two Pokemons right now on the field is faster by nature. I have no idea. I haven't really looked that up, but since I know that I have trained my Aggron to max speed with Adamant Nature, it took him completely by surprise. He goes for the substitute, somehow thinking that he's faster, but it didn't really work out, because right now I just took him so much by surprise. So he's going to switch out into Sandslash to sponge the next Earthquake. Once again, he's forgetting about the Stealth Rocks, and still I know that his Poliwrath is still capable of leaving one more Stealth Rocks, one more switch in actually, before it actually goes down. But it's really going to be completely useless, because his Poliwrath is completely useless at this point. So I managed to take down his Sandslash, which is great. He's gonna bring out his Minccino at this point. He's gonna go for the Bullet Seed, which is obviously going to hit 5 times because of the Skill Link ability, but still doesn't do that much damage. And I'm actually going to go for the Heavy Slam. I'm gonna take out that thing as well. And since we all know that Aggron is faster than Poliwrath, his Poliwrath is also going to get owned by an Earthquake, and that is going to be a good game, guys. It was a game of 4-0. It was, you know, in my opinion, it was pretty decent. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment, rate, and subscribe. And one last question, comment question of the day, which I always do at the end of my videos, is what do you guys think about the new typing, the fairy type of Pokemon X and Y? Leave it down in the comments. comment, rate, and subscribe on PokeMoshPit. And if you want to check out my channel, link will be down in the description as well. So everybody, have a nice day. I'll talk to you guys later.